Oh,
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joining me today is my co-host, JoJo. Woot,
Hi.
woot. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of a different podcast here, since we're coming up here on October, and we're trying to get some podcasts knocked out. Where we've got a couple different things that I kind of brought up and want to talk about on podcasts, and some of these are things that people have asked us to talk about as well, because they kind of wanted to hear our thoughts and views on it, because some of it is products that we deal with or don't deal with directly, but know of the people. And so we're going to kind of do just talk about this one specific thing, and then a couple other podcasts might be on the same boat as that. But today we're here to talk about the Activision Blizzard lawsuit and all the shit that is happening at Activision. Holy fuck. I feel like this came out of nowhere too. Like, I feel like this just blew the fuck up.
It's kind of, there was one thing and then another thing. It was a domino effect, I think.
Okay.
It was one guy, and then it was like, oh no, a lot of guys. And
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Well, so I have a nice little breakdown here that I'm going to read, so that way we can make sure me and JoJo are both completely up to pace, because I know there's probably some stuff that I'm missing here, and then that way it brings everybody who's watching up to pace, and then we kind of talk about our thoughts and views on where we think things are going to go next and what should happen. So break down the entire Activision Blizzard story so far and a lawyer's perspective on what happens next. Ooh, even better. On July 20th, California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, collecting numerous complaints about unlawful harassment, discrimination, and retaliation at the company. Employees of the DFEH spoke to said Activision Blizzard has a frat boy culture that's been a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. In a week since, more than 3,000 Activision Blizzard employees have signed an open letter to management speaking up for victims and making a call for official statements that recognize the seriousness of the allegations and demonstrate compassion for the victims of harassment and assault. It has been a dramatic period for Activision Blizzard, including a response plan from CEO Bobby Kotick and a work stoppage by hundreds of employees. And this is just the beginning. Court proceedings are still pending and could last for months or years if this case goes to trial, which makes sense. Here's the latest from the Activision Blizzard controversy, a timeline of events since the lawsuit was made public, updated through September 21st. So at the time of recording, it is the 22nd, so this is as up to date as we can possibly be. So it looks like they went from September 21st going down, which is kind of weird, but whatever. I'll just read it from September 14th going up. Activision Blizzard employees and an organization called the Communication Workers of America file an unfair labor practice lawsuit with the National Labor Relations Board. On September 17th, Blizzard's chief legal officer departs the company.
Yeah.
September 20th. I had heard something about it, but I didn't know exactly where he was at in the company. I just knew he was a bigwig. September 20th, the Wall Street Journal reports that the U.S. Secretaries and Exchange Commissions is investigating Activision Blizzard's handling of employee complaints of sexual misconduct and discrimination. September 21st, Activision Blizzard publishes a press release titled Update on Workplace Initiatives, stating it's engaging with multiple U.S. regulators, the Employment Opportunity Commission, National Labor Relations Board, California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, and the Securities and Exchange Commissions. September 21st, Overwatch 2 executive producer Chaco Sony leaves Blizzard. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he apparently, it's not because he was accused of anything. He maybe just doesn't be there anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of this is just kind of relaying. Okay. So now I see. So now it's going further and further and further down. Holy shit. Okay, they did this very weird because most of these are completely. Jesus Christ. Okay. We might have jumped the gun, so at this point it would just be smarter to actually go down than go up now because we've already went up. They had like the first section, and apparently it was a preview for the article that's directly below. So the dates that I just said you are also directly below what I just read you.
The internet fucking sucks now.
It fucking sucks.
Layouts of everything, articles to get Google results. Oh, it's all garbage.
So we talked about September 14th, August 26th. After his namesake left the company, Blizzard decided to rename McCree in Overwatch. The decision came about a month after Blizzard announced plans to remove references to former creative director Alex Afrosby, who was directly named in the lawsuit. Blizzard also committed to no longer naming characters after real-life people. We will be more thoughtful and discerning about adding real-world references and for future Overwatch content, the developer said. So they are renaming McCree?
Yeah. Yeah, which is messed up. The guy the character's named after should have to change his name.
Yeah, I don't agree with changing.
Wrong.
Yeah, the character did nothing wrong. Obviously,
real person Jesse McCree.
A real person.
His own name.
I don't agree with the changing of the name. I feel like that. I don't feel like that serves any purpose. You know what I mean? Like that dude.
Yeah, it's just
if he's being dragged through the mud and getting hit with this huge fucking lawsuit and shit, that's enough for him to not be able to work in this industry ever again. So. What's the fucking changing the name going to do? There's probably
like, hey, if you're a person he abused, then you don't want there to be.
You would want to play Overwatch and kill McCree constantly.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you take your revenge out on McCree.
It's weird.
Then there's also tons of people who are probably McCree fans who are like, "What the fuck? Why are you fucking with my character?" So, I mean, I'm not a McCree fan, but if it was like Genji, I'd be like, "Bruh, what are you doing? It's Genji. Like, let's calm down." He's already fucked up. He's a cyborg. Anyways, the August 11th, 3 longtime members of Blizzard's entertainment leadership depart the company. Diablo 4 game director, oh no, Louis Barriga, lead level designer Jesse McCree, and World of Warcraft designer Jonathan Lee Kraft have all parted with Blizzard. Activision confirms. So, if we know Jesse McCree was directly named, I wonder about the other two.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but like there are other people definitely accused of stuff. There were text messages about the Cosby Suite, they called it, or something, like a hotel room.
Holy fuck.
So the timeline on that makes it unclear if it was a weird coincidence or if it was a reference to Cosby drugging people, because it's like before Cosby was legally charged with anything, but after there was some public knowledge of him, it's weird, man. It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
August 6th, Bloomberg publishes a report revealing additional details about the frat boy work culture and rock star mentality present throughout Blizzard's history after its success with World of Warcraft. Current and former employees shared stories including the prevalent culture of drinking, hazing, and sexual harassment. According to the report, Activision's oversight only exacerbated issues with budget cuts, tight deadlines, and additional stress. Which fucking makes sense. August 3rd, Blizzard president Jay Allen Brack leaves his position as head of studio. He's replaced by a pair of co-leaders, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra. O'Neill joined Blizzard early in 2021 after 5 years as the studio head of Vicarious Visions.
Yeah, Vicarious, but they used to make like Tony Hawk game. No, they did like ports and stuff. If you looked at what they made, you would recognize them, I think. They're notable.
I hope so, because I mean, to join the company in 2021 and already be like fucking co-head of the board, that seems like a big fucking leap for something as giant as Blizzard.
Well, they've been part of Activision since 2005, so it's just a shuffling.
With merged with Blizzard in January, Ybarra has served as Blizzard's executive vice president of platform and technology since November 2019. I mean, that's still short too, but it's nowhere near as short as 21. But Bloomberg breaks out the news that Blizzard's head of HR, Jesse McShook, is also no longer with the company. Employees release a statement rejecting Activision Blizzard's choice of law firm William Hell or WilmerHale to review its policies and procedures, stating that it has a history of discouraging workers' rights and collective action. During Activision Blizzard's quarterly earnings call, CEO Bobby Kotick states there's no room for harassment at the company, saying people will be held accountable for their actions. After the call, Blizzard employees point out on social media that Activision Blizzard has yet to acknowledge any of the demands put forth before their walkout on July 27th. So here's the thing with that. We're going to play devil's advocate on that one here. I understand that this got to a breaking point. Apparently, this got to a breaking point. Like, the people who have been there, if this shit was going on, it's something that's been going on for a long time. I mean, they said ever since the rise of fucking World of Warcraft. That was fucking forever ago.
Well,
so
yeah.
If this is something that's going on, which I just something as big as Activision, I'm not saying it's not happening. I feel like it's being played out more than it actually is happening. And the reason why I say that, and because it seems like a grand scale, I mean, they're talking about thousands of people. It's hard for me to believe that a company in today's world can just get away with that so fucking easily. You know what I mean? Like thousands of people.
Caught them, right? I mean,
something as big as Blizzard. Like, it's not like this is like some small fucking company. You know, I mean, this isn't Dead Funny where like I'm fucking groping you on the way to a fucking podcast.
The problem is if it's bad at the top. Yeah, these are like higher up people. People who had some position of power. Like, it's not like people. Who knows what Bobby Kotick knew or whatever, but like, it's not like he's cool. No, he
I mean,
probably,
like
as long as stuff was making money, he wasn't paying any attention to any of that.
Well, so where my issue is that it sounds like they would not do the walkout if they would have acknowledged the demands that were put forth, and I don't like that. So that's like to me, that's an intimidation tactic, and I don't feel that's very useful, and I don't feel like it makes your side look good, even regardless if you are on the virtual side. There should have been a walkout regardless. Should have been a walkout regardless. It should not have to have anything done with. It's not you meet my demand, say you're sorry, fire these people, or we're leaving. It should be we're leaving. This is a terrible, hostile work environment. Until you get shit fixed, we're not coming back. Because the message is the same. You know what I mean? To where the message isn't the same the other way around. The other way around is, do this or we threaten to leave. It should be, this is fucked up, fix it, we'll come back. That's a stronger message. No, it's not the same. So fix it and we'll come back versus if you have a chance to fix this now. If you fix this now, we won't leave. Mm-hmm. That's not the same message.
I mean, it's just giving them a chance to fix it before we leave. I think that's just how strikes work in general. You don't strike before you try to make a deal. Strike after the deal doesn't work out.
I don't know about that. I mean, most like union meetings and shit, like all that shit happens like in secrecy.
Well, yeah, but then you bring your demands
and then they all leave. They all strike, and then that's when the union person comes with the demand saying, "Hey, we're not coming back to work. This is our demands."
Versus, you say, "Here's our demands," and then if they don't meet your demands, then you leave.
Maybe I don't know,
man. You
make
the demands first.
I just feel like. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's not like I know for sure the right way to do it. Yeah. It just seems to me like to put the message out there and make it stick. And I do want to go ahead and say, for anybody that's listening, I'm not trying to belittle anything that happened there at all. This is just my opinions. Obviously, I'm a male. I have a different perspective on this. I'm not there. I don't see what the hell's going on. I don't know what's happening. But I feel, in my own opinion, a stronger message is straight up, we refuse to work in this environment. The message of you can fix this and then we won't leave, we all know how slowly cogs turn. To really hit them hard, if they're really in this crunch time with Diablo 4 and all this other shit, just fucking leave. Done. Leave. Like, everybody storms out at the same fucking time. Like, they all apparently fucking work together on this and we're able to do this whole list of demands. Just fucking leave and then just be like, we'll come back to work whenever we're not being fucking harassed. Plain and simple. And I think that would have really put that vice a lot tighter on fucking CEO to be like, okay, shit's got to get fixed because now we're fucked. Like, we
But
are
it's just, but
fucked.
isn't it the same thing? It's just say this shit has to get fixed so they don't leave. You still have a timeline that's very
It is,
just,
but I don't think it's an.
you know.
If anything, I don't feel that enough has been done for the victims at this point. I feel like they should have just left, and that would have justified it even more for them for their cause. Versus like, we'll be nice and give you like you've been getting sexually harassed for years. Fuck it, fuck them. Like, just leave. Like, if these are
Well,
like,
I mean,
you
it's.
know,
I think people have left, or who were
for sure.
victimized. Or something.
Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah. There's definitely people that have left, but like, I'm talking about
And
whatever the
also, I don't
scale.
know. There may be procedure rules, and
Maybe.
there are rules along with unions and when you can strike, and
Yeah.
it being okay, and not
Maybe,
like
maybe. And I don't know any of that. I've never been part of a union thing. Like I said, I'm just
right.
throwing random opinions out there because it's just my opinion at the moment in time with the small information that I have. Like I said, if this is affecting someone directly that's watching this, thank you for watching this. I'm not trying to belittle you in whatsoever. But like I said, at this point, I feel like the victims should have just left so that way they were a little bit more justified. Not saying that they weren't already justified in the eyes of normal moral people, but whenever it comes to greedy asshole CEOs and everybody else that have been doing this for so long, fuck them. Like, fuck them. That's all I got to say on that was fuck them. So, August 2nd, T-Mobile branding is removed from the Overwatch League and Call of Duty League websites. There's no comment on whether the change relates to the lawsuit on August 1st.
Obviously it does.
Yeah, obviously. Activision Blizzard executive Fran Townsend causes more controversy by tweeting an article titled "The Problem with Whistleblowing."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think that's the lady. I gotta verify this, but there is someone who worked at Activision in a high up role who was part of the George W. Bush administration and like defended torture or something. It was, and yeah, Bush. Just verify this real quick here. Yes, yeah, that's so it was extra bad because the lady who tweeted out that story was the one who also uh, was a defender of torture in the Bush administration.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if we can find what it was that she exactly said because I'd be interested.
Yeah,
And,
just if you Google Activision Bush administration, the stories come up.
got you. I just want to know exactly what it was that she said. She's got a lot of shit about fucking kids here. Like, I don't care about that. I want to know about your Activision bullshit. But it's actually kind of interesting. I don't know of too many circumstances where the women are the ones that are speaking on the opposite side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's at some point when you're high up enough in an administration or not business, whatever, executive, that sort of solidarity among affected groups, marginalized groups, you lose it. I think, like, she has as much to lose from this shit as men do because she's just a part of Activision's executive structure at some point.
So let's see. Fran Townsend.
And also is probably not a good person.
Whistle. Tweet. Fuck off. Activision Blizzard exec Fran Townsend deletes Twitter profile following inflammatory post about whistleblowing. Okay. New moral code of Americans elite. 2 students went to Amy Chow for advice. The sin would cost them dearly. Amy Chow, Yellen, the problem with whistleblowing, The Atlantic. And then she blocked a whole bunch of people from being able to respond to her article that she posted. She didn't even fucking say anything. It's an article by The Atlantic called how I guess 2 students whistle blew about something that
Well, she was
almost
sharing
got them
it
in a straight
to
time.
express an opinion about whistleblowing, which
Oh,
is
for
the
sure.
thing that has
Which is
caused
what
them
happened.
trouble.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh my god. That was a terrible choice. Like, what the
Yeah, it was just a
fuck
bad
were
look.
you thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving past that stupid fucking action. Vice publishes an article in July 20th or July 30th about Blizzard's recruiters at a 2015 hacker conference harassing a security researcher who asked about a penetration testing cybersecurity auditing position. One of them asked me when was the last time I was personally penetrated, and if I liked being penetrated, and how often I got penetrated. She said, like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but that just doesn't sound like something that's normally said, you know? Like, I mean, these motherfuckers got to be wildly out their fucking mind to say something like that. Yeah. Like, you got to be wildly out of your mind to say some shit like that.
Right. I mean,
like, that's fucking nuts. Like, I don't even think I've ever had a conversation with somebody where I even said the word fucking penetrated. Like, honestly, like, it's just not normal.
I guess it sounds like he was making a joke about, like, security penetration and then turning it into a physical penetration, double entendre.
Double entendre.
Then dropped the entendre and just started saying
hey, yeah, you're trying to get penetrated
really
or what?
Literal with
like,
it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
On the
he's
same
like
day.
a gross nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
And doesn't know how to be.
On the same day, Waypoint writes about an Activision Blizzard IT worker at the company Minnesota's office who installed spy cameras in the unisex bathroom. He pleaded guilty in 2018 to interference with privacy. What the fuck?
But I mean, so in Blizzard's like defense, that's one guy doing a thing on his own. That's just a rogue creep.
But it's crazy to know that fucking happened.
Yes, they employ thousands of people.
Yeah, exactly. IGN also publishes a report based on the interviews with 7 current and former employees who speak to a number of issues, including women being evaluated differently than men inside Blizzard and breastfeeding rooms not having locks at one point. One employee characterized the company's attempts to fix it. Culture is... Oh, putting lipstick on it. Okay, I was like, what are they trying to say here? Okay, got you. So putting lipstick on it. July 29th, the New York Times publishes an investigation into Activision Blizzard with newly public accounts of sexual harassment and discrimination. An employee who worked at the company from 2014 to 2017 said she was paid less than her boyfriend who joined the company at the same time doing the same work, and that a manager messaged her on Facebook asking what kind of porn she watched. Another woman who joined Activision in 2011 as a vice president said that an executive pressured her to have sex with him because she deserved to have some fun after her boyfriend had died weeks earlier.
Jesus.
Like, some of these stories just sound so fucking far out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's some real fucked up dudes, yeah.
Now, see, here's where the interesting aspect comes in. So this is where I hate this kind of news, right? Because I'm definitely one of those people where I don't believe we live in a world where, like, we should just take everything at base value. Like, there needs to be hardcore, concrete facts, evidence, so and so. It's how the legal system should work, right? So, with that being said, I hate articles like this where it's said that a manager messaged her on Facebook asking what kind of porn she watched. If this is a legal, actual thing, we all know that what we delete doesn't stay deleted. Fucking legal shit can be brought up all the time. I actually have a fucking guy who's a fucking cop that's like, you can delete something fucking 6 months ago and I can still pull it off your phone. 100%. Like, that can happen. Why do we not have confirmation that this was said? You know what I mean?
Do we not? Isn't that
part
of the
it's
trial?
Just her saying that the message was sent to her. Not saying that it hasn't been. It could have been. I'm saying in this article that apparently is keeping us completely up to date and is obviously established well after this fucking thing was done in July 29th. Why? I'm not saying anything towards her. I'm saying it towards the article. Why in the article does it not say that this was confirmed? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
this is where journalism pisses me off. You're supposed to give me facts. At some point, a lot more people care about story versus truth. Where's the truth at in this? Not saying that anybody's lying, but if this has been proven, why is that not in the fucking article? That should be in the article. Just plain and simple. This is journalism. It should be in the article. I'm criticizing the article. I want to say that very clear for anybody who's watching this. I'm criticizing the article, not the woman. Anyways. Another woman who joined Activision in 2011. Oh, no, we already read that one. That one's fucking crazy. Your boyfriend died weeks earlier. You enjoyed. Yeah. You deserve to have fun. Let's fuck. Like, that That's a bold goddamn move right there. Jesus Christ. Employees hold a walkout at Blizzard HQ while others, this on July 28th, sorry, while others participate in the work stoppage remotely. Employees also respond to CEO Bobby Kotick's letter saying that they are pleased to see that our collective voices have convinced leadership to change the tone of their communications, but that Kotick fails to address critical elements at the heart of the employee concerns. The response reiterates the 4 demands from Tuesday. Today's walkout will demonstrate that this is not a one-time event that our leaders can ignore. We will not return to silence. We will not be placated by the same processes that led us to this point, the letter says. Game developers across the industry share messages of solidarity with the walkout. Kotaku, I fucking hate Kotaku. Kotaku publishes a report on Blizzard's Cosby Suite. Here we go. This is what you were talking about. A reoccurring convention party room that As Farabi and the other employees texted about bringing hot chicks to Greg Street, a former World of Warcraft lead systems designer and current VP of MMO R&D at Riot, who's seen in the photo, claims that the hotel room was a green room at BlizzCon that many of us at time used to take a break and relax during the convention, and that hot chick was a joke. Activision Blizzard confirms to Kotaku that Alex Frosby was terminated in 2020 for his misconduct and his treatment of other employees. But we don't have any more information on that. That's what I'm saying. Like so much shit is left out on the open. They should be able to pull that shit. Anyways, Tuesday, July 27th, the World of Warcraft team announces that it plans to remove references from WoW that are not appropriate, like including NPCs and items related to Alex Frosby. Employees state that they plan to walk out on Wednesday to protest the company's response to the lawsuit. The open letter passes 3,000 signatures. Activision's Blizzard has approximately 9,500 employees. The plans for the work stoppage comes with 4 demands. 1, an end to mandatory arbitration in employee contracts. 2, more diverse recruiting and hiring practice. 3, publication of compensation data, promotion rates, and salary rate ranges. And 4, a company-wide diversity, equality, and inclusion task force empowered to hire a third-party company to audit Activision. Some of this is good. Some of it I agree with. So this is the problem with the diverse shit. And this is where my issue comes in with the whole diversity aspect. It depends on the way it's being put across. I absolutely believe in diversity. I believe everybody should get the same thing. I believe in equality 100%. There's no reason why someone should make less than me if we're doing the exact same fucking job. That being said, I think that we should be focused a lot more on people who are actually good at the job. And that's who gets fucking... Like, for instance, a big one would point out. Trump. Obviously was not suited to be a goddamn president. Obvious. But... once again, here we have a situation where it's like anybody could just fucking do it, apparently. We didn't know that, but apparently that's how that fucking works. So you want to be the president, you don't even got to go through politics anymore these days. So it's a situation of hiring the most qualified person. Now, where I do agree with this diversity aspect is the fact that they want a third party to audit the Activision hiring process. I 100% agree with that. Because in that way, they can keep a check on the fact that the diversity / the person who's talented for the job is going correctly. Because what I would hate to see would be a minority coming in and they have absolutely everything that Activision needs, but yet a white male gets that spot just because they're not a minority.
I mean, the problem with this stuff comes down to, like, the question of who's most qualified for a job or something is kind of subjective.
And it is.
So so you need to sometimes prompt it, give it a little push.
Exactly.
Because these guys may be reinforcing their own biases.
And they might be, and that's why having that third party, I think, would be absolutely great for them.
Yeah, they need people from outside Activision to look at everything. Cause
like, why did you hire this white guy? Because he has no qualifications compared to this other person. Or the same thing, vice versa. It's not like, are you just trying to meet a quota with a minority or something because this person was way more qualified? 100%. Because in that way, you have an unbiased situation looking both ways.
a lot of this stuff's come up now because games started out so male,
Yeah.
the industry, and like so it's
Oh, for
just
sure.
ingrained in the DNA of the whole industry, and they have to fix stuff.
I mean, and I don't like to be one of those people, but I mean, it's kind of true, man. It's the way the times were, and not necessarily not necessarily like women weren't getting into it, but I mean, it was
Oh,
nerdy
I mean,
to
at the
be a
start,
gamer. It
sure.
was nerdy to do coding. It was nerdy to be geeky and shit like that. And those were the people who were making fucking video games.
Yeah.
Like that's what they did. That was their fun. Was looking at fucking ones and zeros on the screen. Like fucking those were the guys that chicks wouldn't give a fucking time of day to because like fuck that. That'd be boring. Anyways, but I do agree that video games don't belong to just men. I know tons of female gamers, tons. I play with them daily fucking basis. On top of that, this there is a toxicity that lives in the environment, and I've seen it firsthand multiple times. And on top of that, I have been in parties with people doing it to other people, and that shit's
Mhm.
just not cool. Like, I mean, if anybody's watching this right now, talking trash is one thing. Everybody talks trash. That's what it is. Video games have always been like that. There's a difference in calling somebody bad and telling them they suck because you're just fucking around or you actually think they suck versus being like, because you're a woman, you'll never be as good as me in video games. Like it's just not factual. It's physically not factual because I guarantee you there is probably a female, even a minority female, somewhere across the world who could probably dust your fucking ass in that exact video game. Like there's thousands upon hundreds of thousands of people who play video games now. The pool is not a pool anymore. It's a goddamn ocean. So
It's yeah.
trust me, there's talent across the fucking board. And like I said, I still hear that. And one of the most toxic games is Overwatch. One of the most toxic games that I've heard most of this kind of shit come from is Overwatch. So it kind of adds up.
Yeah.
Circle's complete. Yeah, so late Tuesday afternoon, Bobby writes public note. We already talked about that. It announces. Oh, no. This is different. Late Tuesday afternoon, CEO Bobby Kotick writes a public note to employees calling the company's initial response tone deaf and says, "We are taking swift action to be the compassionate, caring company you came to work for and to ensure a safe environment. There is no place anywhere at our company for discrimination, harassment, or unequal treatment of any kind." Kotick's letter announces immediate steps to investigate claims, hold listening sessions, make personal changes, enforce diverse hearing or hiring practice, and change inappropriate in-game content. Anyone found to have impeded the integrity of our process for evaluating claims and imposing appropriate consequences will be terminated. That's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like everything they're asking for right there.
Yeah. It depends on we gotta see how they actually execute on
Yeah,
that.
and see,
But
that's where I was talking about the aspect of
yeah.
like we're walking out, and then
Yeah.
you fix it, then we'll come back because once again they can say it and be like, okay, cool, we're gonna put this note out there, and we're gonna do it, so don't leave, and then they don't leave, and then they take forever to fucking do it. And 2
At some
years
point,
later, now
they can't
Activision's
walk
actually
out
moving through
for
it.
as long as it's going to take to actually fix this. Without
Exactly. Yeah,
saying
that's
fine.
fair. That's fair. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So Monday 26th, Activision holds an all hands meeting that only has room for 500 staff. That sounds very stupid. First off, executive Joshua Taub reports attempts to address the lawsuit, saying that there's zero tolerance for the behavior described in the lawsuit and that Activision Blizzard works with employees and the accused to work on a resolution. Tubb also says that Fran Townsend's response wasn't the right communication. Fucking duh. More than 1,000 current and former Activision Blizzard employees signed an open letter to management calling Townsend's statement abhorrent and insulting to all that we believe our company should stand for. The employee statement continues, "Our values as employees are not accurately reflected in the words and actions of our leadership." Yeah, that's fucking fair to say. Categorizing the claims that have been made as distorted and many cases false, creates a company atmosphere that disbelieves victims. Immediate corrections are needed in the highest level of organization. So that's where a lot of these waters get murky, and it's kind of something I was talking about earlier. I'm definitely one of those people who I need facts and I need whatever. The problem with that kind of mentality is the way that you actually support the actions. So, like for me in this situation, if I was fucking the CEO, I need facts before I'm about to literally terminate some. Yeah, I know, right? I need facts before I'm literally about to ruin somebody's life by fucking firing them or terminating them, right? I need concrete evidence that this is going on. Like, give me literally anything, but you need to do it in a way where it isn't feeling like you're just blowing off the victim, because it could be a true claim.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a lot easier to lean towards the aspect of this is possibly false and you're just trying to get ahead, because who in their right mind, and this is a sad way to look at it, but it's true, who in their right mind wants that woman to be telling the truth? Nobody. Nobody wants her to be telling the truth. Everybody wants her to be lying. And the reason why is because that's a terrible fucking thing to do to somebody. You want her to be lying. You don't want to think that there are men actually out there doing these actions in your office underneath your nose. You want her to be lying.
I don't know that I do want that, because I want to be able to trust what people say. Right? Because like the idea
I
that
feel like the weight
and making up some vile thing about another person isn't like a good world to live in either.
I completely agree with you, but what one do we rather live in? One where people are just lying about people, or one where people are actually going around and raping and molesting people?
Yeah,
one weight is definitely a little bit heavier.
That when someone says someone has been raped, that has happened, I guess, you know, the world where I can trust and then solve the problem, I guess.
I get where you're coming, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's the problem with where we're at in a lot of the today things that I see with society. It's a lot of people go straight to, oh, the person's victim blaming, and it's because they might not be necessarily victim blaming. They're trying to wait for evidence and shit to come out, like everybody should, because there's two sides to every story. Evidence should come out, and then move forward with that. But the problem is that the majority of those people who have that mentality do it in a way where it looks like it's not that, or no, it is that. It's that I disbelieve your story. Give me facts and then I'll believe you. It should be, this is a terrible thing. I can't believe this is happening. We need to make sure that we take the proper steps to make sure that this is 100% factual, 100% true, so the proper procedures can be taken in place. Versus, yeah, you got to bring me evidence or I'm not going to fill it. I'm sorry.
I think the problem just comes up that a lot of these things are...
It's hard to get evidence for. It's hard to get evidence for.
Things, you know, private.
Hard to get evidence for.
Yeah.
It is absolutely hard, and I'm not trying to make it sound like it's easy. I know it's not. I mean,
also
at that
in
point,
the case of reporting things here, like some of this stuff may have evidence that we're not getting because it's like has to be private in the court case.
Yeah, the court case. Yeah. I thought about that when I was bitching about the evidence earlier, but I feel like if we're talking about it, I feel like there's things that we possibly could be like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for sure either way. Yeah. It's just like that could be a case situation.
Yeah, exactly. So, and like I said, I know it's definitely hard to prove a lot of this shit. I'm not saying that this is the easiest stuff, and it is one of those situations where it's like you kind of have to fucking walk around with like a phone recording almost at all times, just so that way in case somebody says something, you can be like, bam, there you go, here's your evidence. And it fucking sucks, man. It fucking sucks. Like, people should just not be shitty people. That's just plain and simple. You shouldn't lie.
That'd be great.
Yes. Well, and that's the problem, is that there's both sides of this. There's the people who fucking rape, molest, sexually harass, whatever, and then they fucking lie about it and don't fucking own up to it, and the fact that they do it in the first place because they're terrible human fucking beings. And then there's also the people who lie about it actually happening to them and destroy lives, and also literally fucking spit in the face of actual fucking victims and everything else. It's like, can we just not be shitty people in general? Like, just in general. It's crazy. Do you know the fucking newest craze that's happened out, and the only reason it's been happening is because of fucking like hotel cameras and bar cameras? And it's been happening like with like NBA stars, where they actually have caught on camera women putting roofies in their own drink.
What?
Then trying to hook up with an NBA player, going back, sleeping, and then calling rape the next morning, saying that she was feeling funny after she drank something. They've actually caught video evidence of these women doing this in their own drink. You're going through the process of roofing yourself to destroy someone's life. What in the
Yes.
actual fuck? When you have other people out there like goddamn molesting Bill Cosby, who's literally fucking drugging people and molesting them. Like, not only are you a piece of shit for what you're doing to the person whose life you're trying to ruin, all the other people who are actual victims dealing with this in real time, you're just a fucking piece of shit. That's just all there is to it. You're just a piece of... It's crazy to me. I could not believe it. Like, at first it's like, oh yeah, these NBA stars are saying that fucking women are roofing their drinks, da 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 da. And I was like, well, that sounds like the world's worst excuse to I just raped somebody. Like, yeah, she roofed her own drink. I don't know what she was doing. She just pulled it out. I was like, oh, let's have fun. Yeah, I was like, I highly doubt that happened. And then there was like actual footage camera of like fucking chicks doing it. Like, I think there was one in a hotel bar. And then there was one like actually like in a hotel lobby where they had like drinks. They walked in with drinks, and then the dude was talking to the desk, and you see the chick turn around, and there's like another camera right there, and you see her literally pull a fucking pill out of her fucking thing, drop it in the drink, and then fucking toss it back, and then fucking just go on. Called the next day, said that she got roofied and that he raped her. It's like, what the fuck? Anyways, it just sucks because it makes situations like this where this can be an actual legitimate situation, and there's always going to be so much doubt. Which there should be on both sides, though. On both sides, though. There should be a lot of doubt on both sides because that's how that should work until we have evidence. That's how that should work. But tends to be a lot more of, well, the women are probably lying, da-da-da-da-da. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. So let's see here. The letter ends... So the letter ends with a statement that the employees say stand with all our friends, teammates, and colleagues, as well as members of our dedicated community who have experienced mistreatment and harassment of any kind. Signatures from current and former continue to roll in. On Saturday, July 24th, former Blizzard Senior Vice President Chris Minns tweets a response to the lawsuit beginning with, "We failed and I'm sorry." There you go, Jen. That's how you make a fucking tweet. That's how you make... I mean, who the fuck has the goddamn right mind to call out whistleblowing in a time like Jesus
very
Christ.
detached from like people, like
Very
detached.
Sociopath. Jesus Christ.
Which again, she was a person who had to like defend torture publicly, so like she's not.
Oh my god.
Dealing with normal person emotions.
This is
necessarily.
Crazy. This is crazy.
And she has had to turn off, even if she ever did, she has to turn off that part of her, just defend the grossest shit.
Yeah. And in a Me Too, like a post Me Too world, of all places, for this shit to be going on. You know what I mean? I hope, because, once again, obviously we gotta do the whole fucking devil's advocate here, because there could be some women that are lying about this. I highly doubt all these women are lying about it. Highly fucking doubt.
Yeah, at some point there's just like a lot of smoke.
Yeah, at some point there's going to be smoke. There's going to be people who are jumping onto it because if it's a fucking class action lawsuit, hey, I might fucking get something out of it. There are those types of people out there. They exist. But for all the women who were harassed, for all the women who did put up with this shit, I hope to God whoever fucking did it gets completely fucking fired, locked up, the whole fucking process. Like, if this actually works and gets shit to change, fucking good on you. Absolutely fucking good on you. Because that shit's not cool. Oh, shit. Activision Blizzard Chief Compliance Officer Fran Townsend sends a very different message to staff, calling the lawsuit's deception A/B distorted and untrue, and that Activision Blizzard truly values equality and fairness. Townsend says that when she joined as an executive leadership team in March 2021, she was certain she was joining a company where I would be valued, treated with respect, and proved opportunities equal to those afforded to men of the company. Townsend reiterates. Okay, sorry, I thought I read retires there for a minute. I was like, hold on, wait, what? Why is she still talking if she's retired? Townsend reiterates the initial response that the lawsuit's claims were inaccurate. Blizzard co-founder and former president Mike Morhaime publishes My Thoughts stating, "I want to acknowledge the women who had awful experiences. I hear you, I believe you, and I am so sorry to have let you down." A video from BlizzCon 2010 goes viral on Twitter during a WoW panel Q&A. A woman asked about the possibility of less sexualized female characters. The panelists, including Alex Fabris and now president J. Allen Brack, laugh and make jokes in response. which that was that fucking video that was up here.
Yeah.
Blizzard President J. Allen Bark emails staff to say that the behavior detailed in the suit is completely unacceptable. Activision President Rob Kotchith emails staff calling the allegations deeply disturbing and says that we as a company take every allegation seriously, which you should. News breaks that the lawsuit has been filed. In the statement sent to PC Gamer and other press outlets, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson said that the lawsuit includes distorted and in many cases false descriptions of Blizzard's past, and that the DFEH was required by law to adequately investigate and have good faith discussions to us to better understand and resolve any claims or concerns before going to litigation, but they failed to do so. Instead, they rushed to file an inaccurate complaint as well, or as we will demonstrate in court. I mean, if you can back it up in court, I guess we'll fucking see.
Good luck.
Yeah. California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. I mean, imagine though. Imagine if they are able to back that up in court. Imagine if like all of this was smoke. It's obviously not. But man, wouldn't this be... I mean, I can't even imagine the setback as far as equality in America would be, where thousands of women are getting together saying like, fucking this shit's like,
right, that's probably not that.
Fuck, dude, that would be, I mean, such a slap in the face to fucking women who deal with this shit like on a fucking daily basis. Anyways, Tuesday, July 20th, California Department of Fair Employment and Housing files a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard alleging discrimination and sexual harassment against women in the workplace. The lawsuit mentions cube crawls in which drunk male employees subject women to unwanted advances, a lack of women in leadership positions, unequal pay for women, and lack of action from HR around many of these complaints. The suit also specifically calls out the actions of former WoW senior creative director Alex Esfravi, who was permitted to engage in blatant sexual harassment with no little repercussions. This guy's name has popped up a lot.
Yeah.
And so far it sounds like he's a dirtbag, right? If he's a dirtbag, you're a bitch, dude. Like, just plain out. Like, if this is real, you're a bitch, dude. Like, I can't imagine a smaller man than to fucking not only sexually harass somebody, but to blatantly do it in fucking broad daylight like you fucking own the place. I can't imagine somebody with such a gigantic ego and a small, fragile, broken self where you think that you can just go fucking do whatever you want. You are an absolute piece of shit, sir. Absolute.
I've been surprised learning, like, from some of these allegations, like, how small a celebrity you can be and still, like, exploit it.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was such a big deal within Blizzard. There's a guy who just, like, was an artist for Magic cards who was taking advantage of that to, like, be a creep. It's like, dude, you are not famous. Like, how is this even... How do you have power?
Yeah.
Wild.
You
so, like,
absolutely
this dude could be high on his own supply, man.
Yeah, you are a very small piece of shit human being. That's all you are. Hey, very, very small. You are...
Millions of people are playing this game that he's designing. He's a god.
You are a fuck.
He created Azeroth, maybe. Not... I don't know what he did, actually. But, yeah.
So what should we expect from the lawsuit itself? The Department of Fair Employee and Housing Lawsuits has started a public maelstrom for Activision, but a court hearing could be weeks or months off if the case goes to trial at all. I don't see either case as going to an actual trial. Lawyer Ken Voyer tells PC Gamer, referring to the DFEH's case against Activision Blizzard as well as one of its filed against Riot Games. Typically, the parties will settle out once the defendant has a better idea of the evidence being brought by the state and the strength of the case. The current negative press is another reason why the companies will not want to go through a long public trial. The DFEH's news page shows a number of settlements from the past 3 years to resolve discrimination and harassment cases for sums ranging from $50,000 to $6.2 million. Voyer points out that a sexual harassment case brought by a state is stronger than a case from an individual. partially because it's public rather than private arbitration. Ending mandatory arbitration in Activision Blizzard contracts is one of the demands listed by the employees who participated in the July 28th work stoppage. Because of DFEH's investigation into Activision Blizzard must have been ongoing for some time, Voyer says the lawsuit is way to publicly push Activision, or is a way to publicly push Activision Blizzard into a settlement. I'm not gonna keep saying that whole thing. The fucking people, all right, the lawyers, the fucking work people filing doesn't request a jury trial, but this is standard practice and doesn't rule out any likely possibility of a settlement before the trial begins. Activision Blizzard will fight tooth and nail to avoid a trial, as would expect a jury, especially in California, to come down hard on the company, Voyer says. A settlement, yeah, fucking California is probably about as progressive as you can fucking get in the fucking States. Voyer says a settlement is likely before it gets to that stage. Going after a company as big as Activision Blizzard gives the DFEH a chance to make public spectacle, even if it doesn't have a strong enough evidence to push the company into a multi-million-dollar settlement. It could have significant ramifications. To make the example of a company, even through the filing of the case and the negative PR that results for the company, will hopefully change through deterrence by putting companies on notice that they are real material ramifications for failing to address toxic culture, Voyer says. It's still possible that the case goes to trial. If it does, they will likely be pushing for big monetary penalties and for Activision Blizzard to open itself up for oversight, which it should, as it enacts plans to repair its workplace issues. If Blizzard won at trial, it would likely push for no monetary damages and, in Voyer's words, the usual corporate general promise of "we will change and do better," which is fair.
Yeah.
And that article, because obviously was not written by me at all, was done by PC Gamer. And I don't know who wrote it. Oh, Wes Finelon. So I want to give shout outs to some of your reporting here, just due to the fact that I'm not trying to plagiarize your fucking thing. So you can go read it there. There are some things that I didn't read to keep it off. But yeah, thank you, PC Gamer. Anyways, so I agree with the lawyer statements that I don't think it's going to go to trial.
No,
these hardly do. I think that it will be a settlement, and that will be good. My problem is that with the settlement, I don't know if things will actually change in the office. If these things are real, I don't think they'll actually change in the office. Because if the settlement happens and people get paid off, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to do better. We're going to start working on this. Like, there's no state interference to make sure that it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's no government
at
mandated
some point,
state.
Like a PR, they have to make some changes so this doesn't come up again.
Right.
You know?
But it's not going to be to the point of what these people deserve if this is what's going down.
Also, at some point, like, stock prices dropped and stuff, so, like, shareholders will push for something to change to, maintain that. But that's why there's an SEC investigation now, too, because, like, maybe they were withholding some of this information from the people who own stock. And that has, affected the price and then affected the value of stuff people own.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Especially with that being said, so that's one of the things that kind of led me to looking at this a lot more in the first place, where so many people were coming out saying that they weren't going to buy Diablo Remastered in solidarity.
Yeah, those things are so complicated because, like, thousands of people, hundreds, I don't know, whichever game, like, a lot of people worked on a thing, and very few of them were a problem, and it's like...
Yeah, I don't feel like it does the justice to the people who were actually, like, at the end of the day, yes, let's say they were being sexually harassed. On top of that, they also talked about the fact of the crunch times and shit like that, the amount of tireless nights and headaches and everything that comes along with sleep deprivation. to get that game out on time for you because they actually love you as a community. I'm not sure if not buying the game is going to accurately get the message across that you want to. Something that would be more accurate is that if they're doing like online, write your name type deal situations, making sure you sign up for those petitions or whatever, stuff like that, that would be more better suited and would actually, go towards them versus being like, yeah, I'm not going to buy Diablo 2 because realistically, who fucking cares? Blizzard
Also, this
doesn't care.
stuff just has a very tendency to blow over. People say they're going to do a thing, and then there was an issue with, I think it was Hearthstone or Overwatch, where it was like some guy said something about Hong Kong or something, and they censured him because they didn't want to offend China. And then there was like posts for days like, "Oh, I'm never touching Blizzard ever again." And then, 3 days later, it's like people are just back to it because they don't care that much in the end.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it is a situation where, like I said, you feel for the people, you hope that they get what they get, and I just hope that there's people out there that just aren't trying to take advantage of the situation as well. And I hope that everybody that did do something wrong is justly fucking fucking put through the ringer for it. 100%. Shouldn't be able to work in that fucking business ever fucking again. Shouldn't be able to fucking climb that high up on the ladder and have that kind of, just to feel that you have that sort of authority over somebody just because you hold a higher title and that you can make their job disappear is by far the worst kind of energy you can have as a fucking human. It's fucking crazy to me. Or I should say one of the worst. One of the worst kinds of energy that you can have as a human. It's fucking crazy to me that you can let that kind of fucking power go to your head. I mean, it's like Harvey Weinstein. I mean, that's a fucking perfect fucking example. Like, oh man, and all these guys always end up being creeps, like every single one of them. It's like fucking crazy, dude. It's like fucking
Yeah, power goes to people's heads, even small amounts of it, I guess. It's not great.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. So hopefully everything works out the way that it should with this. I'm hoping that if there are actual victims, they do get financial compensation. Not only just for the sexual harassment, but also with the crunch time things. I know that those things are very unethical as they are already, where people are basically sleeping at offices. And by sleeping, I mean probably like 15 minutes and then fucking just constantly working and not being able to go home and see families during holidays and shit like that and everything else going on. Yeah, that's just, it's not a way to work and it's not a way to live. And you don't get the best out of your employees that way. Everybody's got deadlines that they got to meet, and if you've got to get to that point, that's where you fucked up somewhere to get to that point, and you should accurately be pushing back your deadline so that way your employees aren't fucking burning themselves out. Because a lot of these people, this is their dream job. Yeah. This is their dream job, to make,
and that's why they get to be exploited.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. They get to make video games, and they get to make video games for a fucking company that is as big as Blizzard is. Blizzard has been,
and part of the problem here too was Blizzard sort of portrayed a very progressive image. Overwatch is a very diverse game. It made people think like this is like of all the companies.
Not only a very diverse game, but I mean they were one of the ones that took like big hits on or not big hits, but were like putting out big threats about being toxic in Overwatch. Yeah. So, yeah, they definitely had this progressive push behind it. And to see that Blizzard basically doesn't hold up to what they're saying, yeah, it's definitely an eye-opener. I'll be, I guess excited is not necessarily the word, but I'll definitely be on the edge of my seat trying to wait and see all the rest of the actual facts and shit that come out about this and see what the actual overall end verdict is. Because, it's fucking nuts, man. That's a lot. That's a fucking lot.
All game developers should stop naming characters in their games after people work on them.
That's the dumbest part of it to me. And if that was something that Blizzard, something that Blizzard just did just to like try to appease the masses, you're a fucking idiot. Like it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like
just like avoid the issue, and you know if it turns
out that the fucking animated character, goddamn
someone, then you're gonna have to change Noob Saibot's name, and it's like a whole thing. It's just like avoid the issue.
I mean, I do understand of like moving forward, we don't want to name anything after people just because people are pieces of shit. We'd rather just come up
Yeah,
with
it's just
our
like
own names. That's
you
great,
don't
but changing
want
the name, it doesn't make anything.
association, you
Yeah,
know. And World
exactly.
of Warcraft is filled, I think, with NPCs who are named after just some guy who did graphics or something, because there's fucking a million characters in that game.
You're right. Exactly. Ah, it's
Yeah.
frustrating, dude. It is frustrating. That's for fucking sure. So, I don't.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not fun.
It's not good at all. Oh well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up
Yeah,
here.
bummer.
Hopefully, we kind of hit a lot of notes that you guys were wanting us to. I know a lot of people want us to go into some conversation about it and really like talk about what was going on because a lot of people are having issues finding some of the information and trying to find all the information. I still encourage you to go out and do your own homework. Just because me and JoJo talked about it, we still don't have all the information at our hands. There's a lot of things that are probably said that weren't in this article whatsoever. This was just the most up to date article that was lengthy that I could find and had a lot of the information in it. So go do your own, homework as you always should with everything that you do. Don't just, go off the thought process of someone else, regardless whether you agree with them or not, because that is not necessarily the best way to do that. Everybody should do their own homework. Yeah, I know people who are strongly against that. It's like, oh, so and so said it. Let's just fucking believe them, and that is a terrible way to fucking take your information and digest it. Very terrible. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end this here. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, turn on notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload another podcast. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views on some of this. And like I said, hopefully all goes the way that it should. If, Blizzard's in the wrong, let's watch it burn. If Blizzard's not in the wrong, then, let's hope that the right actions are made and that we can start seeing, things be done the way they're done. But at one point, there's so many people coming out. It does have that feeling of like a lot of this is probably smoke. But at the same time, I feel that there are a lot of claims in here that are actually true. And I hope that those people get the justice that they deserve. So, with that being said, we're going to end it here. And I hope you guys have a great week. And we'll see you next time.